It's been almost a week since I returned from Prayagraj after completing my trip to Mahakumbh in 2025. And I felt I should talk about what I thought about the trip to Mahakumbh along with my family. The question that one of my friends asked, which I still struggle to answer, is why did I go there? I don't really know. I have no good answer to this question, and I went there with my family. And there were people in the group who were close to 70 years, some were beyond 70 years, some were less than 10 years old, and every age in between. So it was a group which involved people from different ages, and people were going to Mahakumbh for different reasons. We went there by car. It was almost a 600-kilometer journey from my parents' home. And we started the journey on 5th of February at 2 a.m. The journey to Prayagraj from my parents' home was broken down into two parts. The first part included traveling to Varanasi. Varanasi is roughly 460 kilometers from where my parents stay. And we had booked a hotel in Varanasi. We reached Varanasi at 4 p.m. on 5th February. We checked into our hotel. The hotel room was on the banks of Ganga River. We could see Ganga River from our balcony. In fact, it was very close to Ravidas Ghat. Ravidas Ghat is where the river cruise on Ganga River happens. It starts, and we did take a cruise on Ganga River on the evening, in the evening of 5th February. The next morning on 6th February, we started for Prayagraj at 7 a.m. We had reached within 10 kilometers of Mahakumbh campus by around 10 a.m. That's roughly in 3 hours from Varanasi. It was not very difficult for us to reach that distance. We were able to cover that distance up to 10 kilometers from Mahakumbh campus in a very easy manner. But once we were 10 kilometers from Mahakumbh campus, traffic came to a standstill and we were stuck in traffic for almost 6 hours. Then we were able to find a spot to park our cars. We were traveling in three different cars. We were able to park the cars and we managed to enter Mahakumbh campus and we were able to find a place to rest. And the next day, that is the morning of 7th of February, we started at 4 a.m. for Sangam Snan Ghat. And despite starting at 4 a.m., it took us almost 2 hours to reach Sangam Snan Ghat from a spot within the Mahakumbh campus. But we were able to reach Sangam Snan Ghat at a time when it looked beautiful because the sun was just rising and we could see the different colors of Yamuna River and Ganga River meeting at the confluence at Sangam. And it was a spectacular experience of taking a dip at Sangam Snan Ghat. The rather difficult process of extricating ourselves from Mahakumbh campus because, yes, there was a lot of crowd. The crowd was moving in a certain direction. There was at no point a fear of suffering a stampede. I have to say the crowd was managed very well inside Mahakumbh, and but there are elements which I feel could have been improved, such as maybe the traffic could have been handled better. I don't know. But what I don't really understand is if there is so much of awareness regarding Mahakumbh, I am sure the administration knows that a lot of people will be willing to travel to Prayagraj. So, necessary arrangements, at least in terms of traffic, should be made. And maybe it's just the sheer volume of devotees or visitors that has really made it difficult for the administration to meet the challenge. So, the just to come back to the point, after taking a dip at Sangam Snan Ghat, we started walking. And there are these pontoon bridges which are dedicated for exit and entry. Some bridges are for entry, some bridges are for exit. You can't enter the place from the same bridge that you're exiting from. So once you exit the place, you have to find your way out of the Mahakumbh campus, which was quite difficult. There was actually a fire a minor fire on the day we were trying to leave the place. This is on 7th of February. So we had difficulty to find a conveyance to our parking spot. But once we were able to get there around, I think, 2 in the afternoon, we started our journey back to Varanasi. We were able to reach Varanasi by 5 p.m. So we were not stuck in traffic for a considerable period of time while we were returning from Prayagraj to Varanasi. Once we had reached Varanasi, we rested that evening on 7th February. 8th February morning, I went to the Shashramedh Ghat at 5 in the morning. Again, took a dip in the Ganga River, and I visited Kashi Vishwanath temple. Not inside. The ideal time to visit Kashi Vishwanath temple, I learned, is 4 in the morning. And then other parts of Varanasi were explored, not in great detail, but I did make it a point to have the traditional Varanasi food, that is the kachori, the lassi, the rabri, and Banarasi pan. And I felt that the difficult part of the journey had been negotiated. The difficult part being waiting for 6 hours, 10 kilometers from Mahakumbh campus, or traveling along with the crowd to and from Sangam Snan Ghat with 10 people, making sure nobody gets lost in the crowd to avoid the stereotypes that we associate with Kumbh Mela. I felt all the difficult parts had been negotiated. Now it was just a journey back to my parents' home on Sunday. But I had completely discounted the weekend rush. And at every state border, UP, Bihar border, Bihar, Jharkhand border, and within Jharkhand also, there were multiple locations where traffic was practically at a standstill. We were able to cover a distance of about 100 kilometers in 12 hours. We started at 7 a.m. and around 7 p.m. in the evening, we had only covered 100 to 150 kilometers. That's a very slow speed of traveling on the highway. Luckily, as the night progressed, the traffic eased up, but we were still stuck at Barhi in Jharkhand, a place I will never forget. We were stuck there for about an hour, and the other car was stuck there for almost 7 hours. Now, Barhi is a place that has been in the news for more than 2 years, and still the traffic conditions there are not ideal, to put it mildly, especially with the traffic associated with Mahakumbh, especially on weekends. Very, it became a practical nightmare. But the advice that I have for viewers, if you are stuck in traffic on the national highway, please don't hesitate to call 1033. 1033 is a toll-free number, and if you tell them that you're stuck in traffic at a certain location, they will try everything to help you out, to create decongestion in the traffic. So I was able to reach my parents' home at around 4 in the morning on 10th of February, and the other car, which included my mother and my aunt and my uncle, they were able to reach, I think, 10 in the morning on 10th of February. So the journey to Prayagraj proved to be easier in some ways than the journey back from Prayagraj. And I've heard about other incidents where people have been waiting for 18 hours, 20 hours in traffic. There are people who have struggled to travel by train, and it just makes me feel thankful that I was able to negotiate this entire journey along with my family without any major mishap. So, this was my experience of Mahakumbh, and I hope everyone who goes there can experience it in a completely safe fashion. Thank you for watching this video.